How much did you make on that first wholesale deal?
We made $6,500 on that first wholesale deal.
Well, welcome.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for sitting down for a couple minutes.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure.
First of all, congratulations on an incredible year, on winning Investor of the Year.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I mean, we inched along, but we did it. And I think that's what's exciting to us, is that we did it.
So tell me about your big wins first.
Oh my gosh. So the big ones, I was actually purchasing tax liens. We started in 2022 buying one and never heard of Tax Lien Code. We bought one the whole entire year.
Yeah.
And then in 2022, we sat down like, we see the opportunity, but we need more education.
Yeah.
So she found Tax Lien Code, and we bought 23 tax liens last year.
23.
23. That's momentous for us, starting to do something that we really are babies in. So.
Okay, so what was the catalyst to go from 1 to 23?
I can't say this enough. Two things. One is the education piece. You don't know what you don't know. But when you have people giving you the foundation, the plans, the actions, the strategies, why wouldn't you pull the trigger?
Yeah.
But the other part is having the right mindset. One of the things that we kept hearing over and over is stop being a consumer,
Okay.
but become an investor.
Yeah.
And when we got that in our heads, we would encourage each other. That's when it changed for us. We say, okay, we're investors. We don't buy like consumers. We buy like investors. We search like investors. So that's how it changed for us.
That's incredible. That shift, or that idea that you're a consumer before and now you're an investor. It's a hard idea to grasp and a hard idea to actually implement. So what was the action that changed? When you decided I'm an investor, how did that actually change the action?
Wow, that's a great question. How did it change the action?
Yeah.
I think it just increased our confidence. Because before, if we only bought one, it means we didn't have confidence even in ourselves that we could do something like this. So to take the action, in our foundation class, by the way, is where we bought 3.
Okay.
Right then, is that our confidence went like 100% up.
Yeah.
Because we now feel like, oh, we can do this, and it's not as hard as we thought it is. It's just being diligent about research, being diligent about where we want to invest, and being comfortable that we are following what was taught us.
So you went from 1 to 3, and then 3 to 27. Are those numbers right?
Yeah, to 20.
To 20.
To 20, yes.
Okay. Which was the hardest step? Was it hardest to go from 1 to 3 or from 3 to 20?
I think it was the hardest really is to go from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
And I say that because we were still stuck. I mean, we went an entire year.
Yeah.
And then we're still 3 months into 2022, 2023. I'm losing track of time. And we still hadn't bought any more. It wasn't until the foundational class, we're sitting there and like bells and whistles were going off. You're like, this is how you go in. This is how you look. And we're like, oh, we were just missing some key elements of how to research for tax liens. And so when we got towards I think the second day of foundation, and he says, okay, today we're going to buy tax liens. We were like, laptops open, we were ready, and we went in and just did those steps. And so that is the hard. I think it's going from 1 to 3, and then from 3 to 20 was just like pie in the sky for us. It was like a great feeling.
It's interesting because that has followed the trajectory of all my business and my success as well. Getting to the first million, it was amazing how hard it was. It was amazing how hard it was to make that first million. So from you going from 1 to 3, it was hard. Like all of the challenges, and you think it's so much more difficult than it actually is. But then once you unlock it, once you realize that like, oh, I can do this, like that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
Like it was actually when I have a path, when somebody shows me what steps I have to follow, and then I just have to follow the steps. And you went to 3, it's like getting to that first million.
Yes.
Then you get to the first million and that confidence clicks. And you're like, oh, if I could do $1 million, I could do $3 million, and then I can do 5, and then I can do 10. And every step is interesting because it's easier.
Right.
That first 3 was hard.
Yes.
But then to get to 20, it's not 6 times harder. It's actually easier.
Yes, I agree 100% with that. I think it's really important for you to know is that Alicia and I said we are not going to recreate the wheel. We're going to follow what was told us. We're going to listen intently. We have great notes. We go back and review notes if we forget something. We follow the plan. And following the plan is the best thing you could do if you're going to come in and be a tax lien investor. Why try to recreate something or do something different that someone has already done, it's been very successful, so we can be successful by following that plan.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to create that plan for you, because that plan took years and years for us to create and hone into something that's duplicatable. And one of the greatest excitements that I have is to see people like you that take all the information, take the system and the plans that we took so much time and so much money to create and then teach. And now to see you and Alicia and all of these other successful students duplicate that is just so exciting for us.
It has to be rewarding for you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a student. I'm a disciple, you know.
Well,
so thank you for doing that, though. I think it's important for you to know that you're helping someone like myself and my daughter create a better future. She has dreams of one day being on her own, whatever that may look like. I want to, what I call retire. I've already retired, but I'm still working because the way the economy is. But I see a way that I can eventually just decide one day I don't have to work for someone else anymore.
Ooh, so take me through what that feels like. What does it feel like to be at a spot in your life where you want to retire and believe that you don't have a path? And then to realize that now you have a path to retirement. What does that feel like on both sides? What does it feel like to think, I don't know how I'm ever going to retire? How does it feel like now to know that you have a path?
Yeah. Before, it was an everyday thought. This is my life until. Working every day until. Because I had to leave corporate America in 2018. I didn't leave with a plan. And so I ended up having to retire in order to bring some income in. So I didn't have a way of knowing what I was going to do. I couldn't trust a 401k. That was just not an option. It wasn't until the day that I met you in Kansas City and you showed a blueprint of how you started with one house. You moved in that house and then you moved out of that house and rented that house. When you showed me that plan along with how we do tax lien investing, my life was on a trajectory. I said, I will retire myself doing tax liens.
Yeah.
I will retire myself doing rental properties. I will retire myself doing wholesaling. And I wrote all that down.
Yeah.
That is the hope that I have today.
That's amazing. Okay, tell me about the biggest challenge that you've had. What's been the biggest obstacle or thing that's been hard for you?
One of the speeches that we received from our coach is that you have to tell everybody. You have to tell everybody, because if you're looking to do bigger things, for us was wholesaling. My daughter wants to flip. I haven't moved over to that, but she wants to flip. He said, but you have to talk to people. You have to make phone calls. You have to do some due diligence in order for people to know what your needs are.
Yeah.
That was difficult. It's because now we're looking at, okay, so I have to call who? Who do I need to call? He's like, you need to call everybody. Call, who do you know? Do you know realtors? Do you know contractors? Who do you know that maybe even have money sitting around and they want to invest in real estate?
Yeah.
I would not have gotten my first wholesale deal if I had not made phone calls or if I had not talked to people and said, I am a real estate investor.
How much did you make on that first wholesale deal?
We made $6,500 on that first wholesale deal.
Yeah.
And actually, Brian, it was slated I would have made $10,000.
Okay.
And the reason why it was $6,500 is because I saw myself solving a problem for a homeowner. And they were stuck on a number. That's the home they've always been in forever.
Yeah.
And by me giving up a portion of that fee to get them to where they wanted to be was a win-win.
Most people don't do anything. Most people in life say, I want to change, I want to make more money, I want to put my life on a different trajectory. Mm-hmm. You are not average. You're not the normal person. The normal person says, hey, I want to do it, but they never do. What did that $6,500 do to you?
Okay, I told you I was not going to get emotional, so I'm doing my best.
Yeah, take a deep breath.
It just put like an exclamation point in front of Leisha. And I mean, it just said, this is you. You can do this.
Yeah.
This is your hope that you were standing on, that you could retire one day. This is a moment of triumph. That's what that $6,500 did. And I have to keep going. I have to keep doing this and be very diligent. Leisha and I are just great partners. My oldest daughter, we meet every week and we discuss what we did for the week separately, come together what we need to do differently, what we have not finished as far as a task. She had purchased us a whiteboard.
Yeah.
We are on it strategically, setting ourselves up for 2025, for me to walk away from my job at the end of this year.
You know, I remember the first one for me, and this is what I hear you saying.
Okay.
And it took me a long time in my life to articulate what it actually meant. That first time that you create for yourself. For a lot of us, that's the first time that you realize that you're capable of doing something for you, for yourself. So many times, especially middle class, poor, we're accustomed to working for somebody else, and we attribute the creation that we're doing. Whatever we're employed to do, we're doing it because somebody gave us the environment to do it in. Mm-hmm. They sat us down at a desk, they give us a lead to call. They do all the things for us and we're executing for them. But they created the model. They created the system. We are just going through the motions that somebody else did for us, and that's why they get the reward. That's why the owner of the company is the one that's making all the money, because they created, and we're just doing it for them. But the first time that you do it for yourself, where you take the system, when you take the model and you're creating for you, and you realize that I'm capable on my own. I'm capable of making money by myself. And I can do it without somebody being a boss, somebody else controlling and telling me what to do. It tells me that I'm capable, that I can do it.
Yeah.
And that is such a big click.
Wow.
For you now, because now you're saying, I just made $6,500 without an employer. I made $6,500 without somebody telling me what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. That confidence, like you call it hope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it confidence.
And I agree with that. I agree with that, because we're still in it and we're still moving forward. It's not like an option to stop now. Why would we stop?
Yeah.
And I like how you said that we get into that motion of doing it over and over. It's like what we bought into. And it's amazing that I told my children, don't be me.
Ooh.
I have told them, explore the world. My oldest daughter, that's why she has that mindset. She's never worked for someone. She's never been in a corporate setting. She's always been in this entrepreneurial mindset and very strategic. So when she brought the tax lien to me, this is someone who saw an opportunity, right, to make money, but she didn't know how it would work.
Yeah.
Right? I just think it is a phenomenal thing to find your confidence that you can work for yourself and that you can make money for yourself and do it without the pressures of a clock, pressures of having to meet with a CEO or a boss to see how you're doing on your projects for the day. That pressure, I'm looking forward to not having. I'm ready for that to be, that part of my life to be over.
Well, it'll be soon.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about Discover.
Okay.
Let's talk about, it's so incredible to have a partner, family member especially, that you can start with. But when you started, you were alone, just you and Alicia.
Yes.
What has the Tax Lien Code family meant to you from a community standpoint? And, well, let's start there.
It is, I think it's very, very important. What Alicia and I've learned is when you're able to maybe call someone you met at a symposium or any of the classes that we attended, everybody is starting in the same place, right? And they're wanting to go somewhere with it. So for us to be able to have community and reach out to anyone in tax lien, when I say anyone, whether we call the 800 number or reach out to our coach, everyone is so responsive. We never have ever felt like, gee, I reached out and I haven't heard from somebody, or we've never felt that. And so when we've come up against an obstacle or something, we know that we can reach out to someone. We don't even realize who we just know we can reach out to someone. Say, hey, we have a question. We're coming up against something. Can you help us through that? And building community, I'm excited about that because reading where someone's having challenges, maybe it can help me, or I can help them if I've experienced a challenge that I overcome. So it's a great thing. I'm very happy to see community.
Well, so we're launching Discover. We just launched it.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to do for you and Alicia?
You just anyone who becomes part of that community, it's worldwide, right? So states, people are in different states. We can see how they're doing in their state or where they are investing. I think we all can glean from that. I think we can all gather, this wonderful world of communication and information, right? You're only as good as you're allowing the walls to come down and allow other people to pour into you, right? And by the same thing, allow me to be gracious to pour into other people of what I've learned and lessons I've overcome and obstacles and triumphs. So I think that is the key to having such a great community with Discover.
Love it. Okay, what's next for you?
What's next?
What's next for you?
I don't know if I should reveal it because Alicia and I have been, but we are definitely wholesaling.
Okay.
Okay, we're wholesaling, and we're taking another level. So
Okay.
we're not revealing that to anybody.
That's good.
Else,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And but we have already 2 months ago mapped out all the states that we plan to do tax liens in. We got our calendar set up. We've already gone in and make sure we're ready. So when the doors open,
You're ready.
people say, well, we're going to double. Well, we don't know. We may double, maybe triple what we bought in tax liens. But we are definitely going to be heavy hitters in the tax lien area.
Can't wait.
So
Can't wait.
we're ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All thanks to you, because I wouldn't be sitting in this chair if you hadn't decided to create this wonderful platform of education, because that was the key when I told my daughter we needed education. So thank you.